Even when I'm happy, I'm sad. That war is like a permanent dent in my heart and mind. The other night, I was at a party with my wife. I felt love for her and even for life itself, but this happiness only made me acutely more aware of the pain of my past. As we got swept up into a fast dance, I found myself stomping the ground, muttering, damn you caused my buddy's death. When I started flashing, I knew it was time to leave, but damn, where do you go to get away from your own head? All I feel is pain and anger about what happened over there, yet I'm sick and tired of thinking about it. Why can't I turn off the memories? I saw a pregnant woman crossing the street the other day, proudly caressing her belly, and I hated her for being happy and wanted to rip her stomach open like I saw overseas. Thank God I never did anything like that, but I came close. I have a wonderful wife who stood by me through all my depressions and explosions, not to mention my 10 years of drinking, and a beautiful daughter. But am I truly happy? Hardly ever. I'm constantly worried my daughter is going to be raped or in a car accident. When her bus is late, even 2 minutes, I break out into cold sweat, start hyperventilating, and want to call the rescue squad. I keep thinking that God is going to punish me for some of the things I didn't know by taking away my child. And then there's my cousin Ralph, Mr. Success. You didn't have to go and enlist in the army, but no, you had to prove yourself, so don't cry now. His wife wears furs. Mine stands on her own 2 feet all day for minimum wage. My career was shot to hell by that war. But deep down, I don't care. Deep down, I hate myself. Hate myself, hate myself, hate myself, hate myself for what I became over there. For things that weren't even my fault. In our modern day and age, we glorify the military. We see the soldiers we send overseas as heroes and treat them as such. When they come home, we hold ceremonies for them and present them with medals, and then we move on. However, for some of these soldiers, moving on is not as easy. 1/3 of U.S. military personnel are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD. For a soldier with PTSD, mentally, there is no coming home. The thoughts and emotions you experienced on the battlefield follow you and plague your once normal lives. From Aphrodite Matskis, this is Back from the Front. Damn her, I told her not to wake me up. She knows I have trouble sleeping, but last week it was I who woke her up at 4 a.m., so maybe she thought she was doing what I wanted. I don't know, and I don't care. I never thought I'd get so callous that I wouldn't care how my own wife felt, but right now her desire for me is an outright nuisance. I wish she'd just go away. But without her, I have nobody. I've been thinking about the war lately. The thoughts take over and my depression takes over. My wife says she never minds, that she loves me just the way I am, yet I can't stand to even talk to her. I despise her for loving me, maybe because I despise a part of myself somehow. And I push her away too. After she woke me up, I had nightmares. I tried to get them to go away. I could feel myself physically maneuvering my eyelids, trying to get the ugly drama to stop, but it wouldn't. When I woke up, I wanted to kill somebody. In one of my nightmares, I'm standing alone in the middle of a street, lost and confused, just like my first day back when suddenly my wife appears. She wants to help me because I push her away because she can't possibly understand what I've been through. In my mind, I start reviewing all her faults. Yeah, I know it's not her little flaws that make me so upset. I'm mad at her because she didn't have to go. Because her life has been so smooth in comparison. And I mean, sure, she's had her handful of problems, but nothing like what I went through. I'm mad at her too, because despite all of her love for me, she can't take away the pain and the anger. She can't stop the panic. When I get like this, I feel crazy. Here I am pushing away the last person who cares about me. Romantic love died in the battlefield, right next to all my friends. Once you've seen enough death and injustice in the world, you can't believe in romantic love anymore. No matter what the shrinks say, there is no such thing as coping with grief. At least not for someone like me who's been through wars. Sure, there are times I'm ever so confident I can finally start focus on living rather than grieving the dead. And then, out of nowhere, the grief floods me as I realize just how much those men mattered to me. I want to write to heal myself, but depression has immobilized me. Will I ever move this pen? This morning I couldn't even get out of bed. Would I ever get out of bed? Would I ever want to? The world is cold and bleak. There is nothing to live for. I'm sorry, Dr. M, it's my fault. I'm the one who keeps pushing everyone away. But I just can't help how angry I get. I try those things you teach me, the deep breathing and all that, but none of it is working. I'm sorry, Dr. M. You and the other doctors must be so disappointed in me. Maybe in your next book you can write a chapter called Hopeless Cases and write about me there. And please, Dr. M, don't keep telling me how smart and strong I am to have gone through all that and still be walking around and talking instead of sucking my thumb in the lock-up ward of some mental hospital. Look at me, Dr. M. I don't have a family anymore. Look at me, Dr. M. I've pushed away all the people who care about me. Look at me, Dr. M. I can't even work or volunteer without getting triggered and then thinking about killing myself. What kind of life is that, Dr. M? Birth reminds me of death. When I first saw the shriveled mass that was my newborn daughter, I felt pangs in my chest thinking about how all the people who died overseas were once little babies like that. Some of them died like that too, as shriveled masses. I hate to admit it, but there in that delivery room, I found myself pulling away from my child. If my daughter was ever disfigured or killed in an accident, I'd probably kill myself. What's the point of it anyway? Why do we struggle so hard in this life just to die in the end? Sometimes I wonder why I bother even living at all. Thank you.